Chapter 35. Calypso's Lair. Monica's mansion was enormous, containing an uncountable number of rooms. Each was filled with art, furniture, and other luxuries of life. Monica's spirits climbed as they moved from area to area. Like Benedict's noble lie about his car, Monica clearly believed these belongings fully reflected her value. Was this what Diana felt like during Sundance? Marcus wondered. Somewhere between the gym and the 50-person dining room it hit Marcus. Monica's house felt sterile, like a museum, fenced off from the world and designed to be looked at, but never touched. I think you'll appreciate this. Monica opened a large pair of French doors. From floor to ceiling, the circular space was one giant wraparound screen. Beanbag chairs punctuated the otherwise vacant room. It was dark, with a low hum, like the Liberty Bell. What is this? Marcus turned in place. You told me once that you loved old video games. Every system that's ever existed can be played in here. I love old games too. You must if you had an entire room constructed for them. Well, I built it so my nephew had a place to play when he comes over. There's something else I want to show you. Monica took Marcus by the hand and walked to the far side of the space. Nephew? I thought you didn't see your family. Monica placed her right hand against a screen panel comprising part of the wall, causing a section to swing open and reveal a secret passage. No way! Marcus bounced with boyish excitement. Best behavior now, Monica said as she entered the hidden hallway, mahogany box in hand, and climbed the wide spiral staircase. This led to another door, opening to a colossal 3-story turret with a domed roof. Half of the curved wall was covered from floor to ceiling in an ostentatious library built around the biggest fireplace Marcus had ever seen. The other half of the room's curvature was pure glass, giving a god's eye view of the valley. Perfect timing. Monica nodded to the sun dropping behind the western mountains. Hecate was rising simultaneously at the same spot on the horizon, twisting the twilight into a set of long celestial spokes. What's that smell? It's super familiar, he asked. Redwood. Marcus was transported to a childhood memory of wandering misty old-growth forests with his family. Everything in this room is made out of it. Monica sat on the edge of a gaudy desk. What do you think? I need to give Brad my quota. What? Monica murmured. Nothing. Inside joke. Marcus dismissed. I think this is the crown jewel of your entire house. Better than the game room? Much better. Here's my favorite part. Monica pushed a small touchscreen resting on the desk. Every window went dark, blacking out the room completely. A second later, the fireplace roared to life, and a set of reading lamps illuminated either extreme of the vast wooden workspace. Monica was half in the light and half in the darkness, gazing hungrily at him. Look up. A mosaic of soft blue lights resembling the night sky traversed the dome ceiling. It was the second artificial starfield Marcus had experienced with Monica, but it was equally beautiful to the first. They're fiber optics. I had them installed years ago. They remind me of Nereo. It feels safe in here, like a cave. Nothing can get in or out. We're totally alone. Wait, years ago? Marcus asked. Tech didn't pay for this? Not this house, I already had it. But it did pay for my birthday present, which was the second best gift of the day. Monica slid off the desk and walked slowly toward him at the edge of the light. She rested one of her hands on his chest. We'd be amazing together, in the flesh. Can you feel it in your bones? My body's energy radiating into yours, mixing together and growing like magnets pulled to an inevitable conclusion. Marcus felt everything. She'd described it perfectly. The soft glow of the fireplace was reflecting in her eyes. They were the most beautiful thing in the room. He was ready to reach out and touch her when she seized the initiative, pushing her body against his and kissing him. Their momentum was unstoppable. Her soft lips tasted of ginger. Monica's eyes remained closed as she spoke. I couldn't wait another minute. This is what I really wanted for my birthday. She pushed Marcus onto one of the large couches and straddled him, continuing their embrace. Energy pulsed through his body again. There was no trial and error in their physical connection. It felt like they'd done this 1,000 times in 1,000 lives. As he moved his lips to her neck, Monica stood and retrieved her mahogany smudge kit from the desk. She held a white bundle of dried sage leaves to the fire, then smothered the flame in the iridescent shell and traced out waves of smoke as she moved fluidly through the room. Marcus followed her lead and explored the rest of the space. Tarot cards and runes were spread across a coffee table. An old book grabbed his attention. The Fable of the Bees? If it's not a Nora Roberts novel, it isn't mine. Light from the fire bounced off purple crystals and framed pictures placed among the bookshelves. One snapshot of Monica with an older man and a small male child caught his eye. They looked familiar. Marcus made the connection. You know Benedict Darrow? Personally? Yes. Monica continued, smudging the air. Marcus thumbed through the custom aesthetically uniform books of the library. None appeared to have ever been opened. More photographs and fancy frames were spread among the shelves. A pattern emerged. No matter who else was in the picture, Monica and Benedict were always there, together. Sensing Marcus had assembled the pieces of her puzzle, Monica preempted him. Before you freak out, there's something I want to tell you, which you're probably just realizing. I was waiting for the right time, but it never happened, or I wasn't brave enough to make it happen. Either way, it doesn't matter. I wanted to tell you at the lab or Nerio. It never felt right. Marcus could sense the shockwave of bad news building. Tell me what? I'm Mrs. Benedict Darrow, technically. Marcus wobbled as the air left his lungs. Rage, betrayal, and confusion coursed through him all at once. He collapsed into a sitting position on the floor. Give me a chance to tell you my side of this. It's complicated, and I want you to understand, Monica begged, sitting down in front of him on the floor. If you don't like what I say, I'll make sure you get home and you never have to talk to me again. But just listen. Don't say anything, just listen, okay? Monica didn't wear a ring, and nothing about her lifestyle, including her name, was consistent with having a husband. She tucked her knees up into her chest and took a series of deep breaths. I wasn't honest with you, not today, not in general. It's hard because I've been conditioned to keep barriers between me and everyone else, to treat everyone like they're a threat. I know now that you're different, but it wasn't clear our first night at Nerio. You're rambling, Marcus spoke through clenched teeth. I've hidden who I really am from you, from the world. It's been like this my whole life. Monica choked on her own words. I'm a child of polygamy. It's why I don't like to talk about my family. My mother married a polygamist man just like her mother and her mother before that. They were the last daughter in their family, all the way back to my great-great-great-grandfather Augustus Eames. He came with the first wave of pioneers. His kids broke off from the rest of the church when the prophet changed positions on polygamy and allowed the government to break up families. My grandmother used to tell us how they were harassed by the feds, and how she couldn't see her father growing up. If it was your mother's line, why do you have the same last name? My father can trace his lineage to the same man. I'm not a freak or anything. My parents were related, but not close enough to matter. It was a closed society, options were limited. The charity I give my cars to was a constant presence in our community. They helped ensure we had an education. I credit them with getting me out and saving me from repeating the failings of my family. How does any of this relate to Benedict? I met him after I left home. I had a strong work ethic and a beautiful face, so I ended up as a server at the Alta Club. It was ground zero for Utah's Illuminati of powerful Mormon men, an old boys' club. Benedict was there all the time. I noticed how he looked at me. By then, I'd learned how to control men with the promise of passion and the hint of sex. He was easy. He lavished me with gifts, and for the first time in my life, I felt truly safe. Our affair. He was already married? Yes, to a dreadful woman named Lilith. Where is she now? Jail? She was arrested for trying to steal a baby after they'd divorced. They hadn't been able to conceive, and she snapped. I knew Benedict wanted a child, a boy to inherit the family empire and carry on the Darrow name. I told him I'd give him one if we were married, so he divorced her. I was 22, a couple of years older than most polygamist wives when they marry. In a lot of ways, I was mirroring their experience with Benedict. He was an older, wealthier man in his mid-30s, like most polygamist men are when they take a second wife. The first few years of our marriage were fine, but Benedict grew impatient. When I finally got pregnant, he was the happiest I'd ever seen him. It was also the nicest he ever was to me. Nothing else mattered to him anymore. Monica took a long pause to fight back her tears. When I miscarried, I had to have a total hysterectomy. I felt like a failure. Benedict didn't help. He was ice cold. He poured himself back into work, retreating from me and our marriage. How long ago was all of this? Marcus asked. 11 years this September. The math doesn't make sense. You miscarried before you were even married? I'm 36 today. I lied about my age. I was 25 when I lost the baby. It was the 10th anniversary of the September 11th attacks. I remember feeling sorrow like nothing I've ever experienced, for myself, for the world. That's why I choked up about Diana earlier. I'm so sorry. Don't apologize, Marcus fretted. My heart aches with you. It was a decades-long emotional slide after that. Benedict was already ridiculously wealthy. When his daddy died, he left the family fortune to Benedict. I was all alone in this empty mansion, so I poured myself into material distractions. It was going fine until Zero Day. The Federation magically changed everything? Basically, it was tech more than anything. I didn't tell Benedict the details of my disclosure moment, or where I was going when I visited Brad's lab. I wouldn't have told him about passing selection either, but the opportunity for omission was snatched from me by his miserable sister. Hannah? Marcus whispered. She walked in on me having a very private moment with a sample of tech that Brad advanced me in my first week of selection. She interrogated me until I confessed everything. She had the idea for TechMart on the spot. An hour later, we pitched it to Benedict. Well, she did, I just stood there. He completely relies on Hannah for business advice. The next day, they started registering homeless people to enter the black market lottery. I've heard the story. It's genius, but dirty. It's easy to make money when you have money. Monica echoed Anthony's sentiments. She's a horrible person, but all of Hannah's ideas are brilliant. They're also risky. If I didn't make it through selection in time, TechMart would have launched without the product. It was a gigantic gamble. It came down to the literal last minute. It felt like fate when Brad said I'd passed. We stocked the store just in time for the grand opening. January 14th. You know your history. So you're TechMart's secret control on supply. Me and everyone else in the cohort. Except you. I overheard Hannah complaining about you. She thinks Anthony has convinced you to stockpile tech and flood the market to cripple TechMart's monopoly. That's conspiracy theory nonsense. Don't shoot the messenger, Monica pleaded. TechMart has spent a lot of time and money shoring up the cohort and ensuring governments squash any would-be competitors. The fact that Hannah can't control you is keeping her up at night. I don't see how this ends with you having a different last name and identity from Benedict's. At the time, I was the only member of the cohort, and Hannah was paranoid people would figure out I was the source of tech. She predicted that coalition crazies would become violent paparazzi, and if they knew who I was, I'd be in danger. She also said they'd use it to push Benedict and me apart. Looking back, that was a stupid thing to be afraid of, since it was already happening, but it worked. I signed annulment papers, and Benedict pulled favors to purge us from government records. To the outside world, we're total strangers. But you kept up the rhythms of marriage? If you mean sex, not really. Occasionally, Benedict shows up, ravishes me, and takes off. It was fun for a while, but now it's a diminishing distraction. Benedict rarely leaves Hannah and their son, Lucius. Their son? Sorry, no. Her son. He's the nephew I slipped up about in the game room. That was world-class deflection, by the way. I love him like my own blood. He's the only good thing that's ever come from this wretched family. He's totally unlike them. He has a great heart, he's funny and playful. It's sad that such a sweet soul was born into this life. Just because he has Benedict as an uncle? He's more like a father figure to Lucius. But having Hannah as a mother can't be easy either. I don't fear much, but I'm terrified of that woman. I wouldn't be surprised if she's the reincarnation of a serial killer. I met them outside of TechMart. He's always with his mom, and she's always with Benedict. Where's the biological father? He lost a long battle with cancer. Between remissions, they froze his sperm or something. Lucius was born premature and frail. He's had a tragic medical history. Like I said, it's sad. So you're still married to this family in the spiritual sense, just not the government record sense. Yes. And you don't see him other than to fulfill some kind of forced sex fetish? Where is he right now? I have no idea. He stopped telling me long ago. So the sum total of your relationship, if I'm following, is that Hannah uses him to use you for tech, Marcus challenged. No one is using me. I'm a partner in TechMart. Seems like you could have done that on your own and cut them out completely. I've earned everything I have, Monica pushed back. If I hadn't been in this situation in life when the Federation arrived, I wouldn't have listened to myself. I wouldn't know Brad or you. When's the last time you saw Benedict? A month ago on the solstice. Don't change the subject. I enjoy how I earn a living, Marcus. I'm great at it. Second only to you, don't forget that. Sequences are like a drug for me. I also get that out of this arrangement. In fact, that might be the best part. My whole body feels warm just thinking about it. For that split second after waking up in the Liberty Bell, I feel invincible. Everything is vibrant, energized, alive. I can sense the spirit of the person I just was. The only thing that comes close to recreating this is Nerio on the dance floor, when I'm connected to all those other people. So that's where I spend my time. In the lab or the club. I told you I gave up everything for the cohort, and that it was worth it. You're allowing yourself to be exploited. I don't need you to be my priest. Monica scooted forward and climbed onto Marcus's lap again. I know what I want. It includes you. You seriously expect me to step into this emotional minefield, Marcus wailed, with my eyes wide open. I promise I'm worth it. Why can't this work? How does Benedict fit into this equation? I think he gets off on it, honestly. I've been under Hannah's surveillance for years. He already knows about us. For all his power, he really gets off on being cucked, especially by you. It's why I picked you at Nerio. I saw your brother and knew that'd be a step too far for Benedict, but you were perfect. Then my feelings matured and I discovered that you offer many other unanticipated benefits. The web of lies you've woven is incredible. I'm being honest with you now. I'm bearing myself. Isn't that what you wanted? To know and be known. I think I love you, Marcus. But this is my life. I want you in it. However possible. This isn't an option. Marcus pushed her from his lap and climbed to his feet. I'm sorry, I can't do this. Why? Monica protested, standing to match Marcus. For so many reasons. I'm exhausted by the thought of just listing them, Marcus mouthed. You've lied to me, you've used me. I'm not one of your cars you take for a ride until it isn't new and exciting anymore. I have real feelings for you, and I put them on hold this summer because that's what you wanted. Then you dropped this on me? You knew I'd see these pictures if you brought me here. Marcus had reached his emotional maximum. Can you let me out of this room? I want to go home. Without another word, Monica ambled across the office, opened the hidden door, and led Marcus out of her house. Can I drive you? She asked. I'll be fine, Marcus assured. This isn't goodbye, I just need to be alone right now. Monica moved in to kiss him, but Marcus turned at the last second, causing it to land on his cheek. Holding back an ocean of tears, she shut the door between them. It was 9 miles to campus. Marcus would have plenty of time to reflect, but first he had to find his way off the property without getting shot by the guards.